Global War 36 enthusiast here with a video about version 4.1 changes to the Global War 1936 map. The most important change to the map is here in the Philippines, which in version 3 and 4.0 is a contiguous territory worth 2 victory points. It's the most unusual territory because there is a C-zone division between it. There isn't a strait between there. So in version 4.1, these two regions are split up. I'm sure I'm going to mispronounce this, but this southern island that doesn't have any naval facilities on it is the island of Mindanao, I think it is. And in version 4.1, this becomes worth 1 IPP, whereas the rest of it, the rest of the Philippines with the sub base and the major port, that is worth 1. So instead of worth 2 for the whole thing, there's one group here which is worth 1, and this island here, Mindanao, worth 1. This upper island here is called Luzon, and that's where Manila is, and that's where the sub base is. And this chain of islands here is called the Visayas, and it's where the major port is. This grouping of Luzon and the Visayas is the grouping that Japan scores its wartime bonus income. It doesn't score wartime bonus income for Mindanao. It does for this group up here. And then between, right in here where this C-zone border is, between C-zone P50 and P42, this is a narrow crossing between Mindanao and the Visayas. So if there were, say, a coastal artillery here, then that would affect ships passing through. That's the most important change to the map. I think Boston Bruce is going to show off how he hand-painted that, so he didn't need to buy the version 4.1 map. I am going to purchase the 4.1 map, and I'll show you what it looks like. But I think everyone can play without having the new map. No worries there. You just know that this is worth 1 and this is worth 1, and that there's a narrow crossing between there. Another more cosmetic change, but it does affect gameplay, is up here in on the river of Amur. So you can see that the coloring is blue for the river here, but then it turns kind of a blackish color. So that should be river blue, and that will be corrected. There are some strategic objective changes to the map. So, for example, in version 4.0, the Kurile Islands is the strategic objective, but in version 4.1, South Sakhalin is the strategic objective. This is a help to USSR because the supply line to get to South Sakhalin Island, the number of spaces to get there is much shorter than if you have to go through Kamchatka and then to the Kurile Islands. So the strategic objective was moved here to try to balance and give USSR a bit of an advantage. So another strategic objective change to the map is in version 4.0. The CCP would like to expand south here and take over Anam Tonkin, Siam, Cochin, China, but that strategic objective is changed. I'll talk about that in my next video. So these particular strategic objectives will no longer be applicable. Over here in Calcutta, you might have noticed that we didn't have the objective, the Victory City, marking with a red star, like if you notice in London or Paris or any of the capitals, there's a red star. There will be a red star in Calcutta. Another kind of cosmetic thing is in West Timor. Oh, I don't quite have West Timor on the map. West Timor is going to be renamed to Lesser Sunda Islands because it's actually this whole group. There over here, a change that I really appreciate is going to be these C-zone convoy indicators. You know, when it has this little U shape, it means that the convoy line isn't starting in the land zone, it's starting in the C zone. And this is important for new players to understand, that if the Axis take Lower Egypt, that does not cut these two lines. Whereas if the Axis took southern England, it would cut the convoy lines. So in order to help players understand that, this has been shortened up a bit so that the U will be further away from Lower Egypt, kind of indicating that it doesn't start there in Lower Egypt, it's from this C zone. And then one other fix is that Ottawa is going to be shown a little bit differently. I can't really show that on the 4.0 map, but when I do get the 4.1 map, I'll show you how Ottawa is different. So one final kind of cosmetic or correction thing is Manchuria will be spelled correctly. So the I should come after the R, you know, Manchuria instead of however you pronounce that. So a lot of little fixes. You don't have to get version 4.1 to play the game. The only thing that's really mechanically different is the Philippines, and that is fairly straightforward.